What's up, everyone? I hope you guys had a very great weekend. Because as of the time I'm recording this video, today is Sunday, and I hope you guys had a very great weekend. Now we're just gonna get right straight into this video, but before I do, now I want you guys to know that I know some of you might find this video boring, you know and I also want you to know and understand that trading is an education. Therefore, education is boring. Because I'm pretty sure when most of you were in school was boring to you. So trading is also an education. And to be honest, trading is boring. And at the same time, the love and the passion that you have for trading, that is what's going to make you fun. Because if you do not love this, if you're not passionate about this, at the end of the day, you are going to give up, especially if you've just been running in circles. When I say that, meaning you're pretty much struggling, you're finding it hard to overcome and to cross to that next level. Now, this video here that I'm making today, especially if you are a day trader, it doesn't matter whether you trade Forex, futures, stocks, options, crypto, it does not even matter. This strategy is going to work for whatever industry you trade in, and whatever time frame you trade in. Excuse me. But in this video, we are going to be looking at this on the 5-minute time frame. So I'm going to pretty much share with you guys the steps that you need to take and in order for you to be able to use this strategy very efficiently. But before we do, just for transparency's sake, we are going to look at my Discord community here, and we are going to take a look at one of the trades that we took during my New York session stream pretty much this past week, and we're going to look at this buy that we took. As you can see, this trade was taken live. You can even go to my channel just to see for yourself. So we are going to look at pretty much a buy and a sell example, and I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to go into everything in detail. So this video might be a little bit longer, and it might be short. I do not know yet, but we are going to take a look at this together and share with you guys the reason why I took these buys and pretty much the overall picture. So now, if we take a look at this here, I'm looking at the daily time frame now. We're not gonna go pretty much into the full analysis in this video, because if I do that, then this video is gonna be too long, and I don't want this video to be too long. Now we have the swing high. Just focus on these two, swing highs and swing lows on the daily time frame. Now we need to identify the trend on the daily time frame. What's the trend? Are we bearish or are we bullish overall? Now for me personally, when it comes to the higher time frame, I am looking at the overall picture. That's what I am looking at. I'm looking at the overall picture. Now, when I'm looking to take a pullback position or a momentum trade or a continuation trade, I will be able to do that on the lower time frame, because I trade on the 5-minute time frame. I'm a day trader, which some people say scalping. I just prefer the term day trading, because I don't look to just pretty much get in the market and get in and get 10 ticks, 15 ticks, 20 ticks. I do not trade like that. Everyone trade differently. Now, with that being said, we have our swing highs and swing lows here. We identify the trend. The trend is bullish overall. Now, what we need to do is to also go to the 4-hour time frame. What's the 4-hour time frame looking like? We are breaking highs. We are not breaking lows. We have this high right over here. That price actually broke right? But this is a minor high that we just took out previously. Now we have this high right over here as well. I am going to change this color real quick and change this as well, which we don't need anymore anyways, because we've actually taken out that high here on the for our time frame. Now I'm just going to skip the other time frames and we are going to go straight to the 5-minute time frame here. Now this is where we actually going to see, okay, are we actually going to make money here or are we going to lose money here, because this is the time frame that we're taking our trades on. And on the 5-minute time frame, it does not matter whether you're looking at whether you take entries on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30 minutes, 1 hour. I am showing you guys the 5-minute because that is where I take my entries. Now this is what I want you guys to focus on. You are going to focus on BOS, which is breakup structure. You are going to focus on whether we are breaking lows or we're breaking highs. And when I say that, what I mean is that you are going to have your minor highs, your major highs, your minor lows, your major lows. You need to determine which one are we breaking, or are we breaking any highs or lows, whether that be major or minor. You need to figure that out. Now, over here, we are going to focus on the first range. And when we look at the first range, we are talking about the major range, high, and of course, the major range, low. So in this example here, what do we have? We have our major low at 4102.9. That is our major low. And also we have our major low in this range, which is 4151.6. That is our major high. So we are pretty much in a big range here. And remember, we've also identified that the overall time frame is bullish and we have a minor breakup structure. Okay, we've identified that part. Now to go in deeper, pretty much doing more analysis to figure out what position you need to be looking for here on the lower time frame. Now, this is what I want you guys to do when you see something like this. Now, you have your major high at 4151.6 in this range. In this range right over here, this range that I just circled. This is our first range. And you also have what? Your major low at 4102.9. Now look at what happened here. Once we created this high, we pretty much came all the way down. We failed to break this major low, meaning it was this same major low that created this major high. And in return, the major high pretty much came all the way down and we rejected. Now pay attention to what started happening once we rejected. Now, since we rejected this high, this low, what does this low need to do? And of course, we are bullish as well. This low needs to go all the way back up there, back to the highs. Now, three things can happen. We either going to reject the same major high, or we are going to do what? We are going to grab liquidity above that high, or price is just going to break the highs. Now, on this day, I anticipated that price should break that high. That was my anticipation, and I would explain why. Now, if we go back to the daily time frame here. Now, on the daily time frame, what do we have? The daily time frame, right, broke a minor high. We have this low, swing low right here. So price created a swing low and a swing high, and we are bullish overall. We are bullish overall right? Plus you had a demand, right? Pretty much a daily demand that we rejected from, and price broke this high right over here. So we are going to look at the 4-hour time frame as well. Like I showed you guys earlier, we had this minor breakup structure here, which was also a range that we're in. We broke out of that range. So price is bullish. So because of that, I was expecting price to break this high, continue higher, and then get to the next high. Let's take a look at the 1 hour here and get to this next high at pretty much 4174.6, or this 1 hour resistance, because that resistance did what? Held multiple times, because that's the next range, because that previously that was the major range, but not for this day. So going back to the 5 minute here, and then that was my anticipation. And also what gave me the confirmations that I need was that since we could not break that low, we had excuse me guys, we had minor break here, we had a break here, we had what? A break over here. So every single low that we were creating, pretty much a minor low, that minor low ended up breaking the highs. Okay, it ended up breaking the highs. Now you have this low. Now you have this low here breaking the highs. You got a 5-minute demand right over here, right? You have a 5-minute demand there. I'm going to change this color, and then you have a 5-minute demand here that held as well. Now, for me personally, even though I take my entries on the 5-minute, I don't just focus on the 5-minute demands. I combine the 4-hour demand and supply. This same thing for the 1 hour, same thing for the 30-minute demand and supply zones. Then I also use the 5-minute supply and demand zones, and then I take my entries on the 5-minute as well. Now, so that was my anticipation that price is going to continue going higher, and also because the highs we were creating could not break the previous lows. Like this high could not break this low here, could not break this low. This high created this low, created a minor high, could not break it, and then this low ended up breaking above this high, right? So I was expecting a bullish continuation here when this high also created a low, could not break this one, and then we had this move. We rejected, right, this previous high to the left. We created a resistance here. Price came down, rejecting this low again, and I was like, okay, this should be a buy. And what we did was we had delete all this, and then we had this 5-minute demand here. We had this 5-minute demand. So I had the 5-minute demand drawn out, and what we simply did was just wait for price to come back to this 5-minute demand. So, all right, right over here. Oh man, that went to okay. I am just going to do this. So right over here, we had entry right around here, but to be sure, we are going to go back to Discord and look at where the entry was. So the entry here was 4137.0. So we had entry at 4137.0, which is right over there. We had stop loss for 90 ticks, and then we had a 1-to-1, of course, at 90. So how I trade is that I am looking to get at least 1-to-1. Now, once I get 1-to-1, I am going to move. I'm going to take 90% of my position off, and I'll have 10% running, and then we'll target 1 to 2. Meaning, if I'm risking, since I risk 90 ticks here, I'm risking 90 ticks to make 180 ticks. And as you can see, the TP was smashed. This was the 1-to-1 right here. And of course, this is the full position right there for 180 ticks. Now, this is a buy example. Now we are going to look at one more example here, and I hope all this is making sense. If it's not, I hope you're taking notes and you can just watch this video again as many times as you like. Now we are going to look at another example here. This time we are going to look at a sell example. All right, guys. Now, for this next example, I really want you guys to pay attention to what I am trying to show you guys here. This right here is really going to help you guys out. If you really pay close attention and practice exactly what I'm showing you guys here, this right here is going to change your life, and 2026 will be the year that you will become a profitable trader, because 2025 is pretty much over. Now, we are going to go to Discord here and we are going to look at this sell. This sell position was not taken up during one of my live streams because it was not taken during New York. I trade Asia and New York. This trade was taken with my private community during Asia session, and this trade was taken on, let's take a look at the date, November 13. It pretty much was 3 days ago. So the time of this video, I'm recording this video on the 16th, which is pretty much on a Sunday. Now, what I want you guys to look at here, of course, we don't even need to go to the daily time frame because both trades are from last week, and gold still was bullish overall. So now, since we know that we are bullish overall, why the hell am I looking to take sells? Now, here we go. I want you guys to know that every move, whatever the move is, it all starts from the lower time frame. It is good to look at the higher time frame, of course, because that's the overall picture. It is good to look to get the overall picture. But you need to know that by the time, if you are a day trader, by the time you get to the lower time frame, you might be taking a sells or you might be taking a buy. For example, higher time frame bullish, you might end up taking sells on the lower time frame, because on the lower time frame there's also what we call momentum. The momentum could be bearish, the momentum could be bullish, right? And you could also take a pullback position because you trade the lower time frame and you're a day trader. You get what you can, and you're out and you're done. Now, if we look at this right here, the major move, remember I also said earlier that we trade from range to range. We trade from range to range, meaning we trade from one range to the next, whether we're pushing up or we're pushing down. That is all we're doing. We're trending from one range to the next. Now, if we understand that, now you have the major high at 42.50, exactly at 42.50. And we are looking at gold, by the way, in case you guys do not know. This is our major high. And this is our major low of this range. Now, Asia session has not opened yet. Now, why am I waiting for this supply? Now, I am waiting for this supply because this is where we had the continuation to the downside, right? We had a continuation to the downside, meaning if we do not break and close above 42.16 at least, and we have a 5-minute supply there, if we do not break and close strongly, let me say that, strongly above 42.16, there is no need to look for buys, because on this time frame, what are we doing? We are creating what? Lower highs and lower lows. We are not just breaking, we are actually breaking lows here. We are breaking lows, and we broke previous major low of a range. Okay, we broke this low, we broke this low, we broke this low, and this is our previous range, major range to this high, because what we have to the left, right, on the 5-minute, you also have this low right here. So we broke our first major low, and this high was able to take out the low that did what? That actually created it. So we broke out of that. Now the next low is 4123.4. We're not even there yet. So now, what do I see here? Now, I was expecting that, okay, since we created this low and we have pretty much possible gaps to fill here, I am expecting this to at least get back to the 5-minute supply, because that is the high. That is the high that created this low. And I also understand that, okay, is there a chance for me to take buys? Well, on this day, to be honest with you, I was like, okay, there could be a chance for me to actually take buys, but whatever I do, I have to get out pretty much right at that supply zone or before we get to that supply zone. I cannot remember vividly if price actually gave a buy setup though, because Asia session is not open yet, but now we're about to see if price actually gave a buy setup, and I just did not take it. So let's take a look. Asia session is open now. So looks like price never came back to the demand that I was looking for us to take buys, because I couldn't remember, like I said earlier. So now let's keep going here. So we can see price here. We got to the 5-minute supply and we rejected. Just to be sure, we are going to take a look at where my entry was. So looks like entry was at 4209.6. So we had entry at 4209.6. 4209.6. Okay, so we had entry right there. I'm about to check to see what our stop loss was. So looks like stop loss was 90 ticks as well for this sell. So we had stop loss at 90 ticks. This trade, I think we actually took this trade late Asia session. I think it was like around, yeah, but I think we took this trade pretty much like almost 10 p.m. my time. Almost 10 p.m. my time here, because I live in the States. Now we have 90 ticks here, so that means 1-to-1 is going to be what? 1-to-1 is going to be exactly 90 ticks. Now remember what I said, that we trade from range to range. Now for me personally, a setup like this, no matter what, I will be expecting that we come all the way down to this lows at 4148.5, because this is the high that created this low. We could not break it, so if we cannot break it, I'll be expecting it to come all the way down to these lows. However, we also still need to break this minor low that pretty much created this high at 4176.1. Could that happen? Absolutely, because even though we did not break this high here, if gold decides that, okay, I do want to go bullish, then at least then we should get down to this 5-minute demand before we actually continue. So that was my analysis on this day for this setup right over here. But if I am to pick one, I will say we come all the way down to these lows. I cannot remember what actually happened. I can't remember, but maybe we will actually verify. So now we have 90 ticks here, so we all know what the outcome is, but let's just put it in replay mode. So we got our 90 ticks, 1-to-1 there. We move stop loss to break even. I took 90% of my position, and we had 180 ticks right over here. That's 180 ticks. And we got our full TP smashed. Now let's actually see if we actually came all the way down. First, let's see if we actually got to this demand here. We didn't get there. Okay, so we pretty much go to that demand right there, and it looks like this should continue. So that demand kept holding, and we got to this low right over there. We came all the way down there to this low. Now this low right here could hold, or we could continue to the downside. So I hope you found value in this video. If you did find value in this video and you pretty much want to learn more, you're welcome to like and subscribe to this channel and come watch me live during my New York session stream. Now go out there and backtest everything you have learned in this video and let me know how it goes for you. God bless you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.